What if I told you that 7 popular SUVs on dealer lots right now have such catastrophic reliability problems that they'll likely experience major mechanical failures before hitting 40,000 miles? What if the shiny new SUV you're considering is actually a ticking time bomb with documented transmission failures, engine problems, and electrical nightmares that strike when the warranty expires? And what if the manufacturers already know about these issues but continue selling these problematic vehicles because fixing them would cost too much? Most buyers assume that new vehicles are reliable, that modern engineering has eliminated the major quality problems of the past, and that spending $50,000, $60,000 guarantees years of trouble-free ownership. That assumption is completely wrong. The truth is that certain SUVs have such fundamental design flaws, quality control issues, and engineering problems that they start falling apart almost immediately. These aren't isolated cases or bad luck stories. These are documented patterns of catastrophic failures affecting thousands of owners who thought they were making smart purchases. Owner complaints, technical service bulletins, class action lawsuits, and reliability data all point to the same conclusion. These 7 SUVs are disasters waiting to happen. Today, I'm counting down from number 7 to number 1, the SUVs with the worst reliability records, the ones that won't make it to 40,000 miles without major problems. If you're shopping for an SUV, you need to see this list before signing anything. Let's dive in. 7. Volkswagen Atlas. Starting our countdown at number 7 is the Volkswagen Atlas, a 3-row SUV that seemed promising when launched but has developed a terrible reputation for reliability problems that emerge well before 40,000 miles. The Atlas suffers from electrical system failures that are widespread and difficult to diagnose. Owners report battery drain issues that leave vehicles dead overnight, even when brand new. The electrical system draws excessive power when the vehicle is off, draining the battery and requiring jump starts or battery replacement. Dealers struggle to identify the source of the drain, and many owners experience repeated battery problems that continue even after multiple repair attempts. Transmission problems affect many Atlas models, particularly those with the 8-speed automatic. Owners report harsh shifting, shuddering during acceleration, slipping gears, and complete transmission failures requiring replacement before 40,000 miles. The transmission control module frequently fails, causing erratic shifting behavior and triggering warning lights. Software updates provide temporary improvements but don't solve underlying mechanical problems that continue to plague owners. The Atlas's infotainment system is notoriously unreliable and frustrating to use. The touchscreen freezes, crashes, or displays error messages requiring complete system reboots multiple times during a single drive. The backup camera frequently fails, leaving drivers without this critical safety feature. Navigation stops working randomly, and the entire infotainment system may require replacement, which costs thousands of dollars and involves extensive labor to remove and reinstall dashboard components. Engine problems include excessive oil consumption in the V6 models that power many Atlas SUVs. Some vehicles burn oil at alarming rates, requiring frequent top-offs between oil changes. This consumption can lead to dangerously low oil levels that cause engine damage if not monitored carefully. Volkswagen has issued service bulletins addressing oil consumption, but hasn't solved the underlying problem that continues affecting owners. Water leaks plague the Atlas, with water entering through the sunroof drains, windshield seals, and door seals. This water infiltration causes musty odors, mold growth, and damage to electrical components located under carpets and trim panels. Some owners have experienced water pooling in the cargo area or under the carpet, leading to rust and corrosion concerns that affect long-term durability. The Atlas's suspension components wear prematurely, with wheel bearings, control arms, and struts failing well before expected mileage. The suspension begins making noise, handling deteriorates noticeably, and components require replacement at mileage where they should still be perfectly functional. These repairs are expensive and frustrating for owners who expected better durability from a modern vehicle. 6. Ford Explorer 2020-2022. At number 6 is the Ford Explorer from the 2020 to 2022 model years, a redesigned version of Ford's popular 3-row SUV that has proven to be a catastrophic reliability disaster affecting thousands of owners. The Explorer's transmission problems are severe and widespread across all trim levels. The 10-speed automatic transmission exhibits rough shifting, violent shuddering, slipping between gears, and complete failure at shockingly low mileage. Ford has issued multiple technical service bulletins addressing transmission concerns, but many owners report that repairs and software updates don't solve the problems. Some owners have had transmissions replaced under warranty, only to experience the exact same problems with the replacement unit within months. The engine problems in Explorer models with the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder are particularly serious and dangerous. These engines suffer from coolant intrusion into the cylinders, causing catastrophic engine damage that can lead to complete engine failure. The problem stems from cracked cylinder heads that allow coolant to leak into the combustion chambers. This issue has resulted in class action lawsuits, and Ford has extended warranties on affected engines, acknowledging the problem's severity while continuing to sell affected vehicles. The Explorer's electrical system is plagued with constant problems that leave owners frustrated. Owners report constant warning lights for systems that function normally, phantom alerts that cause confusion and concern, and complete electrical system failures that leave vehicles completely inoperable. The battery management system is particularly problematic, with batteries dying prematurely and the vehicle's electrical system failing to properly maintain charge even with new batteries. The infotainment system is unreliable and frustrating for daily use. The sync system crashes regularly without warning, the screen goes black randomly while driving, and various features stop working without explanation. The wireless phone charging pad frequently stops working, requiring replacement. The entire infotainment system may require hardware replacement to restore functionality, which costs thousands and leaves owners without their vehicles for extended periods. Build quality issues are rampant in the redesigned Explorer. Owners report excessive wind noise from poorly sealed doors and windows, water leaks that allow rain to enter the cabin and soak carpets, rattles and squeaks from interior trim pieces that loosen over time, and paint defects that appear shortly after purchase. The overall fit and finish is disappointing for a vehicle in this price range. 5 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Breaking into our top 5 at number 5 is the Chevrolet Trailblazer, a compact SUV that has quickly earned a reputation as one of the least reliable vehicles in its segment, with problems emerging almost immediately. The Trailblazer's engine problems are severe, particularly in models with the turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. This tiny engine is grossly underpowered for the vehicle's weight, and the constant stress of moving the Trailblazer causes premature failures. Owners report engine overheating even in normal driving, sudden loss of power on highways, complete engine failure requiring replacement, and excessive oil consumption. The turbocharger fails prematurely, requiring expensive replacement that often isn't covered after the warranty expires. Transmission problems plague both the 9-speed automatic and CVT transmissions offered in the Trailblazer. The 9-speed exhibits harsh shifting, violent shuddering during acceleration, complete loss of drive while moving, and total failure requiring complete transmission replacement. The CVT transmission suffers from belt slippage, overheating that triggers warning lights, and premature failure requiring complete transmission replacement. Neither transmission option is reliable, making the Trailblazer a gamble regardless of which configuration you choose. Electrical system failures are epidemic in the Trailblazer, affecting nearly every owner. The vehicle experiences dead batteries that leave owners stranded, failed alternators that don't charge properly, malfunctioning sensors that trigger constant warning lights, and complete electrical system failures. The start-stop system that shuts off the engine at stoplights frequently malfunctions, leaving drivers stranded with engines that won't restart in the middle of traffic intersections. The Trailblazer's infotainment system is unreliable and poorly designed for daily use. The touchscreen is laggy and unresponsive to inputs, the system crashes regularly requiring reboots, and critical features like the backup camera frequently stop working. Wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connections drop constantly, making the system frustrating to use daily and forcing owners to use wired connections. Build quality is shockingly poor for a modern vehicle from a major manufacturer. Interior trim pieces rattle and fall off within months, exterior paint chips easily revealing primer underneath, panel gaps are inconsistent and wide, and the overall fit and finish feels cheap compared to competitors. Wind noise from poorly sealed doors and windows is excessive, and the vehicle feels less substantial and less well built than competitors from Honda and Toyota. 4 Jeep Compass. At number 4 is the Jeep Compass, a compact SUV that has built a reputation as one of the most unreliable vehicles Jeep produces, which is saying something given Jeep's overall reliability challenges across their entire lineup. The Compass suffers from transmission problems that mirror those in other Jeep products. The 9-speed automatic transmission exhibits jerky shifting that makes smooth driving impossible, hesitation when accelerating from stops, complete loss of drive while moving, and total transmission failure before 40,000 miles in many documented cases. Owners report transmissions that shudder violently, slip between gears, refuse to shift properly, and eventually fail completely, requiring expensive replacement. Engine problems are equally serious in the Compass across all engine options. The turbocharged engines suffer from excessive oil consumption, with some vehicles burning a quart of oil every 1,000 miles or less. This oil consumption leads to dangerously low oil levels that cause engine damage if owners don't vigilantly check and top off oil between scheduled changes. Some engines have seized completely due to oil starvation caused by this excessive consumption. The Compass's four-wheel drive system is problematic and unreliable. The transfer case and differential experience premature failures that leave vehicles inoperable. Owners report grinding noises from the drivetrain, vibrations that get progressively worse, and complete four-wheel drive system failures requiring expensive repairs. The electronic systems controlling the four-wheel drive frequently malfunction, leaving vehicles stuck in two-wheel drive or causing dashboard warning lights that illuminate constantly. Electrical problems plague the Compass throughout its short lifespan. The infotainment system crashes and freezes regularly, requiring hard resets that temporarily restore function. Sensors fail frequently, triggering false warning lights that send owners to dealers for diagnostic work that often finds nothing wrong or can't identify root causes. The electronic throttle control system malfunctions, causing sudden loss of power or erratic engine response that creates dangerous driving situations. Build quality is poor throughout the Compass compared to competitors. Interior trim pieces fall off or rattle loose within months. Paint quality is subpar with premature chipping and fading, and panel gaps are inconsistent. The overall fit and finish feels cheap despite the vehicle's price point, and the poor initial quality only gets worse as mileage accumulates. 3. Range Rover Evoke. Coming in at number 3 is the Range Rover Evoke, a compact luxury SUV that looks stunning in the showroom but becomes a nightmare of expensive repairs and catastrophic failures well before 40,000 miles. The Evoke suffers from transmission problems that are legendary in their severity and frequency. The 9-speed automatic transmission used in most Evoke models exhibits harsh shifting that passengers notice, complete loss of power while driving, and total transmission failure at shockingly low mileage. Owners report transmissions failing at 20,000 and even 15,000 miles, requiring complete replacement that costs over $8,000 when out of warranty. The transmission issues aren't limited to mechanical failures alone. The software controlling the transmission is notoriously buggy and unreliable, causing the vehicle to suddenly lose power while driving on highways, refuse to shift gears properly in normal driving, or get stuck in limp mode, requiring dealer visits to reset. These problems persist even after multiple software updates and transmission fluid changes, suggesting fundamental design flaws rather than fixable issues. Engine problems plague the Evoke as well across all engine options. The turbocharged four-cylinder engines suffer from premature turbocharger failures, with turbos dying around 30,000 to 40,000 miles. Symptoms include excessive oil consumption, blue smoke from the exhaust indicating burning oil, loss of power during acceleration, and eventually complete turbo failure requiring replacement, costing $4,000 to $6,000 plus labor. The Evoke's electrical system is a disaster waiting to happen for every owner. Owners report constant warning lights for systems that appear to function normally, failed sensors that trigger dashboard alerts, malfunctioning infotainment systems that crash regularly, and electrical gremlins that dealers struggle to diagnose and fix. The touchscreen infotainment system frequently crashes, freezes, or stops responding entirely, requiring complete replacement in many cases. Some owners have had their Evokes in the shop dozens of times for leak repairs that never permanently solve the problem. 2. Land Rover Discovery Sport. Taking the runner-up position at number 2 is the Land Rover Discovery Sport, a compact luxury SUV with reliability so poor that it makes the Range Rover Evoke look dependable by comparison. The Discovery Sport's transmission problems are catastrophic and affect nearly all owners. The 9-speed automatic transmission fails with alarming frequency, often before 40,000 miles. Owners report complete transmission failures requiring replacement, harsh and jerky shifting that never improves, and software glitches that cause the vehicle to lose power unexpectedly while driving. Land Rover has extended warranties on transmissions in some markets, tacitly acknowledging the severity of the problem while continuing to sell affected vehicles. Engine problems include turbocharger failures that occur at shockingly low mileage. The turbos fail catastrophically, causing sudden loss of power, excessive smoke from the exhaust, and engine damage if not addressed immediately. Replacement turbos cost thousands of dollars, and many owners report secondary damage to engines caused by failed turbos dumping debris and metal particles into the intake system. The Discovery Sports electrical system is a complete disaster. Owners report constant warning lights that illuminate for no apparent reason, failed modules that control critical vehicle functions, and complete electrical system failures that leave vehicles completely inoperable and stranded. The battery drains overnight even when brand new, and the electrical system struggles to maintain proper charge. Diagnosing electrical problems is difficult and expensive, with dealers often unable to identify root causes even after multiple visits. This water infiltration causes mold that creates health concerns, rust that affects structural integrity, electrical system damage that triggers warning lights, and musty odors that are nearly impossible to eliminate. Some owners have had their vehicles torn apart dozens of times attempting to find and fix leak sources without success. The infotainment system fails regularly and leaves owners frustrated. Screens go black randomly, systems crash requiring reboots, and features become inoperable without warning. The entire system may require replacement, which costs thousands and involves extensive dashboard disassembly. Navigation, audio, and climate control functions all suffer from the unreliable infotainment system. One Jeep Cherokee. And now taking the #1 spot as the SUV least likely to survive 40,000 miles without catastrophic problems is the Jeep Cherokee. A mid-size SUV with such severe reliability problems that it represents perhaps the worst vehicle purchase you could make. The Cherokee's transmission problems are legendary and well documented across owner forums and reliability databases. The 9-speed automatic transmission is spectacularly unreliable, with failures occurring at all mileage levels, but particularly common before 40,000 miles. Owners report transmissions that refuse to shift out of park, suddenly lose all gears while driving, shudder violently during acceleration, and completely fail, requiring total replacement. A Jeep has issued dozens of technical service bulletins addressing transmission problems, acknowledging widespread issues but failing to solve them permanently. The transmission problems aren't just mechanical failures. The software controlling the transmission is buggy and unreliable, causing erratic behavior that software updates can't fix. Some owners have had their transmissions replaced multiple times under warranty, only to experience the exact same failures with each replacement unit. This suggests fundamental design flaws that cannot be corrected without complete redesign of the entire transmission system. Engine problems affect Cherokee models across the entire lineup regardless of which engine you choose. The 4-cylinder engines suffer from stalling issues that occur without warning, sudden power loss on highways, and complete engine failure. The V6 engines experience oil consumption problems, timing chain failures that cause catastrophic damage, and engine seizures caused by insufficient lubrication. No engine option in the Cherokee is reliable or trustworthy. The Cherokee's electrical system is a nightmare of constant failures that leave owners stranded. Owners report electrical systems that drain batteries overnight even when new, modules that fail randomly causing various vehicle functions to stop working, and warning lights that illuminate constantly for problems that dealers can't diagnose or fix. The electrical problems are so severe that many owners have vehicles that become completely inoperable and undrivable. The start-stop system that shuts off the engine at stoplights frequently malfunctions in the Cherokee. Engines shut off but refuse to restart, leaving drivers stranded in the middle of traffic intersections. The system can be disabled temporarily but reactivates every time the vehicle is restarted, forcing owners to deal with this dangerous malfunction repeatedly during every drive. The Cherokee's 4-wheel drive system is unreliable and problematic. Transfer case failures, differential problems, and electronic system malfunctions are common. Vehicles get stuck in 4-wheel drive mode and can't switch back to 2-wheel drive, or the 4-wheel drive system refuses to engage when needed in snow or off-road conditions. These failures require expensive repairs to components that should last the vehicle's lifetime. Build quality is terrible throughout the Cherokee compared to any competitor. Interior trim pieces fall apart within months. Exterior panels develop rust prematurely. Paint quality is poor with easy chipping and fading, and the overall assembly quality is substandard. The vehicle feels cheaply made despite costing $35,000 to $45,000 new. The Cherokee has been subject to numerous recalls addressing safety and reliability issues. Fire risks from overheating electrical components, transmission problems that cause sudden loss of propulsion creating crash risks, and brake system failures have all resulted in recalls affecting hundreds of thousands of vehicles. Reliability ratings for the Cherokee are the absolute worst in the industry. Consumer Reports lists it as one of the least reliable vehicles available and recommends avoiding it entirely. Owner satisfaction is terrible, with Cherokee owners reporting the highest levels of regret among all SUV buyers. There you have it, 7 SUVs counted down from number 7 to number 1 that won't make it to 40,000 miles without major problems. From the Volkswagen Atlas to the catastrophically unreliable Jeep Cherokee, these vehicles represent the worst reliability in the automotive industry. The common threads among these failures are clear: problematic transmissions that fail prematurely, turbocharged engines that can't handle daily driving, electrical systems that can't be trusted, and manufacturers that seem incapable of solving known problems even after years of customer complaints. If you're shopping for an SUV, avoid these 7 models at all costs. Don't be swayed by attractive lease deals or aggressive discounts that dealers offer to move these problem vehicles. The money you save up front will be lost many times over in repairs, depreciation, and the frustration of owning an unreliable vehicle. Choose proven reliable alternatives from Toyota, Honda, Mazda, or other manufacturers with strong reliability track records. These 7 SUVs prove that new doesn't mean reliable, and that some vehicles are simply not worth the risk.